Shachrit, Yerushalayim, Esadoynoy, Yitzhak b'dichei shaloy, Shtech Ratzir, Tamneira, Yarutz Devat, Magid Varale Yaakov, Chukav, Mishpatal Yitzhak, Mishpatal Vayido, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Shemesh v'Yarei so it's a name there. Stage to go to Shelley, the Ruach, I said the Lord, Chaya of the Morem. That's what I got the school. It's Katie from Yalashim, the Dick, the Adoi. I did a letter to Shama, the Eric and allow me to look on the Sida. They saw him, Peter, go, Hallelujah. It's Mackie Salvia, so it's you give him up. You know, it's out in Ivia, but for I'm sure you. That's my favorite thing, even if they were half the guards of the size famish but castle. That was a fantasy, hallelujah, hallelujah, got you. Koilanishama, hallelujah, Koilanishama, hallelujah, hallelujah. I don't know the mapping. What else should you wait? Like a mother, but it's not something that I give you the matter. You know, Masham, I shall come up and have coffee after I shall and look at the good of I do other than that. May I show my multiple or it's social like so I didn't know the image of Abra. I say some here cast Santa Shema Abra. Baba in them on the phone. He takes ice like Ever got to the day, you have a reception of a bush. It's the famous lap that it's clear. Fish of the river. Gila dinero pa maisha magayo. Always you might see this when it's so. Where the dinero na kala pa yemo. Adinaya. Shibeto.
שקל מניין, ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אתה אדוני. דן, יפה רבו. אמן אדוני.
Ila Israel in Alamar, my shall Israel Anushi, separado, Yamra. Amai fa, Medeman, Nerasi, like I said, the Shira Hada, Shashir, Kogi, Yosim, Shintaka, the Sasa, Yama, Yim, like the Kayadino, Adina, Shmike, Mechisa, Barakata, go out, you see.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. מה אני אומר? אנא בגנו עלינו. בסדר. כמו חברים אדוני.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'avitzinu, melech Avraham, melech Yitzchak, melech Yaakov, melech HaKadosh HaKiva v'Ha'anai Ro'el Elyon, Goy v'Chatzon Ker Yaakov Zer Chaser, Tzveni Kodesh V'nei Mashur Chacham, V'Aved B'Shem Agim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Atah Kippur, Le'Davar V'Nei Nismat Rav, Yishia Mashu V'Ruvach, Me'Yirak Yasher, V'Chayim V'Chesed, V'Chayim Meis, V'Rachmim V'Rabis, V'Nei V'Chayim, V'Mati Rasludim, V'Chayim V'Naseh, V'Sheni Yafat V'Chamet V'Ba'ak V'Nei Melach, Alach mei mis machayim etzmi at yishua v'dem na alach yis meis atah Adonai echayim meis Masam Mishapi, Sarah Safa, Vena Makin, Vena Safa, Baptist, Shuba, Shemana, Alright, Shuba, some Makin, you shall get Adinai, and the man with the slayer. Never need to be very big, Adinai, Kaya is I didn't have the Shin, Shaki, with a flu ash label of our Sinuka, didn't have a wrath, Adinai. Very highly, I might use I play on the devil. Shana, this company was something on saying, Alamata, Sabine, Baric, Nasina, Kashan, Matin, Field, Barashana, Nevari, Hashon, Gavin Shaper, God, the Gavin, the Gavin, the Gavin, Nitra, she works with the question, what's in my many I'm likely to want other than the bad for the fence and I'm even said that Melech, I hate Stockholm. I'm machine about this. Because they did, like I'm from Hayden. A mouth was rich, miss, active, it's not here. It's actually having made of your I will Amen. Allah the game, Allah Hasidim. That's it. I'm for basis of the saints of our table of Allah, but MS. This okay, no, we must have pleasant image of that. We shall make the hearts of Dick. Slimecha, Brahman, Tashu. This is Mesefa, and Shaki Barta. If he said, David, made of a set, but it's a correct, you have made him in the middle. I know you shall know. Some of the other made us at me. I thought you was God, you need to call him. Smakely, not really, of an Afman, Rachim, Balina, Capital, Rachim, a milk one that I'm going to come out, this week, the Schmetels go back. They are the Amen. It's a monthly, so issues. So, lots of the apples, capitals, see the Razi tell me, I'll make that. But then I need to show up in Bida. Amen. The Shachrit, he loves that. Give it up, Father, not each. Amen. Go ahead, I didn't put a left of you for that cup. And give it on. We all sing that. Amen. Give it on. Team Shaw, line, they love you. I think that's it. They know what goes on. I'm very keen. I'll be the one again. He were Panefa, and Sat the Lord, who was in the air. That's time. Yeah, that's the Stockholm. Ubracha, Birach, the Chaim, the Shalom. The time being a Kalavar of some pizza of Holy Social Mission. Amen. Think about Davra Pesha, let's see, Josh, give me something to show. Tell the Shabbat in the section in the mouth. I know you show me. כאילו ידע יצננו זכר כי אף אנחנו נזירנו לשינו אז רק כבית שמחו ועשינו כבר באף עשינו למען שמת נזכת שמינה בו יום דבר פסק ים פסק עצמך וכאן וכאן תחייך לבמיך מחל רבי ישראל וגם ולכם יברם
אמן ישמו
אריס אלריס שלוש מדקות שבי אלא וגם חצי בשירת וחצי דרך וצלבי נבוא מה תמרו
אמן
אשר בסדר, הוא מסביר אותו בחירת הצדק, פרסית ובמח. תני לי אבי יעשי ושבאסי נשמע וישים שם רע דרס חליה בו ויסקול שם יעש מתחילה סדין הידע רפי יבר אפילו אנחנו נרפיו יעד חרדן לא מצא יעד חרדן למצוא רסגה חב שם יעד יזכרנו בסוף אידה ברכת ידע בעצוסים ואנחנו בשם עדיני אלינו נעסקים וכאלה ודבר אנחנו כמציא לשיעה המלך יענינו ויפקרים ובוסים ואני זה שפיסי יויסם קדש 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 אדיני צבאי סמך על הארץ כבאי
ובלציון
ותעתני לך שמות תעשה כפי ישראל ברחם וברחם תעשה צלק לא יתבע מצלח ברח עלינו שבראנו לפי דוידי לנו מן החיים ונעשנו תרסם לחיים ברח הגבר שיפתח בעדיני לא יעדיני מתח מתחבעדיני עדיית כביע עדיני צדדים אידו חלפה ישמח ולצבת את השך עדיני עדיני חוץ מעצית גוי יגדל תרביית סקדה וסקדה שמירה יום דבר פסק ים חופסי ויעץ מקורקני וקרב משיחי תחייך ובית מחל רבי ישראל והגז והקר וימרני יש מירה וברח אלם ומה יספר בשלב ישראל ישראל מסנעשי יסעדר 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 שמי דקות שבריחו אלא וכבחץ בשירה וכבחץ בחמש תאמי רבמה רבי סקאבץ לוסוי סקאבץ לא יסלמוס ולכה בישראל כזה במינו ישמעי במרבי יש לו מרב משמעי לחיים צבאית ומינו רק בישראל במרבי הייתי שלום רב אביעת השלום עלינו רק בישראל ויפרו רבי תפילה דפן שברה נפשי חסידני כגוי מאשר עשיסגה ויוביק נשפח ונפניך כי גדל אתה ביוסני חוי סתוי יחס גדל נעלה לפני עשאים יצאתוי ויוסן ויושן גדל נתתני ונפניך כל העם יחריש השם ליום למען דעס לעם יעשה אדוני הוא אלוהים עיני שיר מעשה לולי אדוני שלום נפשנו כציפור נלחם בקדושים להחליש במנחנו וזה משמע אדוני יעשה שמיים בארץ היום יום שלישי רביעי בשבת ביום רביעי אלא כמה זה נגד ואם רדה יריה ודה יפין ודה יעקב בין המי רב כי אל גדול עדינו יהיו מלך גדול גדול שינו עדינו עדינו וברוך שם כבאי דוד ומלך וידס כל הארץ אמן ואמן יצקדה שמי רבו יאבא דירפי לסי ויאמך מלכוסי ויעצמך ורקדה וקרדת משיחה ויתון ויתון וחי לכל בית ישראל מעגלה וישמן קרדת
אמן
וישתבח ויסבר ויסלם ויסנעשה ויסדר ויסעלה ויסעלה שמי קודשה
אמן
אלא מכל בחסה ושידסה ושבחסה ונחמסה דמין המאמה היי שלום הרב מין שמאיה וחיים טובים עלינו הכל ישראל וימדו אמן ויעשה שלום ממנו ויעשה שלום עלינו הכל ישראל
אמן לנו לשם
קבי אלעדים בחסה אינקלינו 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 Até se tinha nada. Eu acho que seria grato pelo campo da prova. Se vai esse no carro. Nossa. Isso vai ser já que não vai ter já vai. A vida será rápida. Olha, mira que eu já aprendi, não chama a missa, né? Amir Rabbi Elazar, Amir Rabbi Chanina, Manai Fudet. Shalom Rabbi, Veser Sefum, Yishalom Vedam Shalom, Zerum Manai. Ma Veser Dinelina Vaksha Teva, Islami Te, Ilaye Vade, Sami Vashalom. Iskada, Shmei Rabba, Yama Dibrachi Rusei, Yamich Mafuse, Yatzmach Burkane, Kare, Mishife. יש לנו בבית חנוכי לכל בית ישראל והגלו יזמן קרי וימלו אבי יש מירה במברך יאללה ומאיה ספרק משתבח ויסבר ויסלמה ויסנעשה ויסדר ויסעלה ויסעלה שמיני קודשה אלא מכל בחסה ושיגסה תשבחסה ולחמסה ומירה ממה וימלו ישראל וירבנו ויאלת מדלה כל תמיד סמדי הקומנדסקי דיירייס דגרס רדינו חסר עשר אלוהינו לך שלום רבו חינה וחיסטו ורחמים חיינה דיחי ומזיינה לביכה וכאנה מחד המבוית ושמעיה וימלו אמן יש שלום רבו מן שמעיה וחיים טובים אבינו הכל ישראל וימלו אמן Amen. Shalom Rabbi, Yas Shalom Aleinu. Ha'ko Yisrael Yivinu. Amen. Yinu Lo Shomeh. Shleis Anikai Haratzei Shleis Amadim. Ya'Lokai Mishnach Avim. Shilish Rav Yesidare. Yakin Gal Chadin Aleinu. Liretz Meida Vizveres Vizef Avam. Yigulu Minaretz. V'Adil Yipirtz Kivim. Sakin Elo. Ma'apul Shadeh Chol Mikas. Mechadin Aleinu Yifru V'Yifaidu. Nikalo Kolo Malei. Eza Ma'apusem. Shuna Kaleinu V'Yifaidu. Yamapul Shachar. Yadin Nemar. V'Yadin Elo V'Akalar Tzveim Mahui. Adina Yechad. Shema Yechad. Skada V'Skada. Shmei Rabba. Yamech Mapusei V'Yatzmach V'Chane V'Chare.
Amen.
Ethan V'Vithan V'Chayla V'Yisrael. Agalos Makari,
Amen. Yes.
But if the Shabbat is very simple, it's not say, it's a dar, it's a levi salom, shmini kushab.
Amen.
אלא מקבל חסה ושירה סוף וחסה נחמס וחמילה פעמה.
אמן.
שלום הרב עמית שמאי לחיים שלבים. עלינו לאחו יסף.
אמן.
ושלום מבוא יד שלום עלינו. אחו יסף.
אמן. תגילה,
שעד השעים כתבו, כל יתחדש אותה, ולא ילכו כמען ואיך. חצר להגיע לו, אני עשיתי, אני יצא. We started off with chapter 121, having in mind any one of these, any type of love. Shema says, I know you're the heart, Ezi mi bati, no. Hashem is like a kamereach, Palo Yilad, Nishma Kamikara, Ishma Sashacham, and you know Ishma Teislo, Vayecha, Beyata, Bi'ad, What's today, the 10th? Today's Yud? 10th? Alright, till the 10th day begins with chapter Nun Hey, Kapitel Nun Hey, chapter 55. 8 county speed limit. Don't go too fast. Remember all the brachas we get when we do these come together with the minion. Maybe. Uzi elachaz amiga, Yeli miskabi, Yeli chafti, Miskada, Miskada, Shmei Rabba, Yom Adirach Nusef, Yam Nifakuse, Yatzmach, Karne, Vikarne, Mishiche, Echel, Vemech, Machal, Beis Yisrael, Galar Izman Kari, Vimeru, Amen, Shmei Rabba, Yamaya Ismaret, Vishlavach Mitzvah Visema Visnase Visadar Visalev Visalosh Vidikucha Ela Mikal Bechasa Vishika Sodukasa Nakamasa Kaminalamba Vimiru Amen Hey, Shlomo Rabba Mitchemaya, Chaim Tayri, Leino Acha Yisrael, Amen. I just shall remember. We have Shalom Leino Acha Yisrael, Amen. People speak up, you say, Last Shabbat, you got the Shabbat, come to the Finish of the Cholitzim, I'll be there for the Kalim Kishis, before my year with the Mach, I should put on some Ara, I made this one made, you remind Kabon, Shabbat, I got it, Shimei. That's a good part of the Zaki says Israel, if you look here, but then say, I'm explanation, I'm going to go to Tzitkoy. God will trade of the Yadim. God is God, Shmei Rabba. Yom the Refu is the Yadim, what was the Yatsma, the Karnet, Mashiche. Yet the original kind of Israel. God is Makari, the Midu Maya. But if we shall have these bodies, then on these masses, it's a love, Salosh, Shachrit. Ela me cabe faça vestida, só se faça nessa massa da minha alma, amém. Ai, salve a Rabba, não ia fazer a falta, me disse me deu a falta das que veio aqui. Ela não faz como Rabba, fim do texto da Rabba. Ai, ai, filho, o designer de Shmaia, amém. Hey, Shlomo Rabba Mitchemaya, Chaim Tayri. Leino Acha Yisrael, Amen. I just shall remember. We have to shall Leino Acha Yisrael, Amen. Yashikaya, everybody. Made it. Big Yashikaya. Ayayim Yay, marching orders for the 10th day of Shvat. We have a right name of the figure of that. First of all, Kaira Art, the Maimon that starts, Mantia, Slaves Ifa Mastel. At the end of the part that starts, La Yish Baisem Mirois, supposed to say there, La Yish Baisem Valaila Mirois. Rebbe says the name of Fidikar that when my grandmother, this is the Fidikar Rebbe's grandmother, Rebbe Rivka, was about 18 years old. It was the year 5611, 1851. She became sick. The doctor ordered her to eat as soon as she woke up. However, since she did not want to eat before davening in the morning, because the Shulchan Aruch says we're not supposed to eat before davening in the morning, so she didn't want to eat before davening. She would daven very early in the morning, and then have breakfast after davening. So she would wake up extra early, because the doctor told her she has to eat breakfast. Let's say it was by 7 o'clock. She had to eat breakfast for whatever she had. So she would get up, instead of getting up at 6:30, she would get up at 5:30 to daven, and then she would do that. Her father-in-law was the Rebbe that Tzemach Tzedek. When her father-in-law, Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek, learned of this, he told her, a Yid must be healthy and strong. Concerning the mitzvahs, it's written, V'chai bahem. One should live in them, which means that one must invest the mitzvahs with life, with chayis, with vitality. And in order to be able to bring chayis, in order to bring vitality into one's mitzvahs, one must be strong and happy. He concluded, you should not daven on an empty stomach. Better to eat in order to daven than to daven in order to eat. In other words, many times we're hungry, like right now I'm hungry. And so we want to finish up davening so we get to eat something. Even though it's a fake hunger because they ate late last night. So it's just a fake hunger. I know it's a fake hunger. But my mind's already on that's the way it works. That's why Hashem made us. It's better to eat in order to daven. You know what? Eat something before davening. Quiet your stomach down. And then daven like a mensch. He then blessed her with long life. She was born in 5593 and passed away on Yud Shvat. Today's the Yortzeit in the year 5674. For those days, it was considered a long life. Today, my father, Shri says, referring to Rabbi Shab, recounted the above teaching of the Tzemach Tzedek with someone in Yechidus, and he added, now when you eat before davening, of course, you're not supposed to eat a suda, a meal before davening, because that's against Shulchan Aruch. When you take something before davening, just in order to give you the vitality davening, it should be done joyfully, it should be done Do it happily. Don't do it begrudgingly. Do it happily. Say for our mitzvahs today. Today we have positive commandment 225, and that is if someone kills someone, chas v'shalom, by mistake, then they have to go to galus. They have to go to exile, to be exiled to a city of refuge. City of refuge. We're not talking here about San Francisco. Then we have commandment 296, and that is we're not allowed to accept ransom from someone that kills someone by mistake. We're not accepting that, you know what, let me pay for it instead of going to the city of refuge. Let me pay my way out. No, there's no paying your way out. And then we have negative commandment 292, and that is that we're not allowed to execute a criminal before going to trial. Everyone, so even if the Bezdin is going to execute someone, still they have to give them a fair trial. Let's be court. Bart Mashiach is late, super duper late. And living with time today's Chumash. Yesterday, Hashem told us, go, travel, go, just go. I told you to go, get moving. And finally we listened. With Mesiras Nefesh, we listened. And then, of course, they had the splitting of the sea. And right away the Yidden broke out. Oz, Yashir, Moshe, right away the Yidden broke out in song, singing, because that's what we do when we're happy. That's what we do. A Yid sings. Right away we start singing. Yada, yada, yeah, we start singing right away. And one quick thought. Oh, sorry, the singing is going to take place tomorrow. Maybe not jumped it up. No, it's today. What are you talking about? Oz, Yashir, today. One quick thought. It says here, call Sus Paroi, all the horse of Paroi. Horse doesn't just mean horsepower. Talking about many horses of Paroi. It says all the horses of Paroi, but it says in singular on Sus Paroi. You know, in the morning, in the davening, every time we say chapter 20 of Tehillim, it says there, Eila v'rechev, Eila v'asustim. Anachnu, B'Shem Hashem Naskeh. It says these go with their chariots and their horses, but we go with Hashem. Now, this is a prayer we do for someone who's not feeling well. Someone needs help. This is the chapter we say. And I always wonder, why do we say, when we're davening someone's not feeling well, why is the chapter, these are go with chariots and these go with horses and we go with Hashem? What's the connection? We go to horses. They think these guys go stream and we go to shul? Maybe. No, but that's not what it is. Today's Chumash, it says, Kol Sus Paroi, all the horses of Paroi, it says in singular. Rashi tells us yesterday, Rashi explains that for Hashem, all the horses in the world coming to war, it's nothing. It's like one horse. The same thing as one horse. Zillion horses, one horse. All the same thing for Hashem. And the same thing when someone's not feeling well. For Hashem, He can make the person better. It doesn't matter if the person is at the last seconds of deathbed or they have a little cold. Someone has a little cold, Hashem can knock them off like this. Even they don't have a cold. Or COVID or whatever you want to call it. And someone who's who knows what's going on with them. And Hashem can make them better in a second. To remember that any time someone's in a pickle, we should never be in pickles, unless it's a half sour but time to pickle. We should never be in a pickle, but if we're in a pickle, we should remember that in a split second, it doesn't matter how big the pickle is, Hashem has the power to take us out of any pickle. Everyone should have a good day, the best day ever. Yeah. It's customary today, throughout the day, to learn Basi Lagani, the Ma'aser Basi Lagani. Round of Yud today's the yard site of the Frierdiker Rebbe. The Frierdiker Rebbe put out this Ma'aser in honor of his grandmother's yard site, Rebbe Rivka. And he wound up being his yard site. The day he put the Ma'aser out for, it wound up being his yard site. So today is the Frierdiker Rebbe's yard site, which means that we should learn extra Torah today. We should do extra mitzvahs today. Help another Yid in any way we could today. Help anybody in any way we could. And in addition to that, learning extra, we're supposed to learn specifically the Ma'aser of Basi Lagani. You did learn the first chapter or second? What do you learn? First one. I ran at 8:30. When I ran at the Ma'aser. Which people? What? People that don't have kids in school. Huh? Wait, I want to hear part of a mimer. All right. So I wasn't here yet last night when you guys did the mimer, but if it's the same mimer they did at Miami Beach, then you guys did the same Basi Gani. So the mimer started with Basi Gani Chaisikala. Says the Shir Hashirim that Hashem came to his garden. My sister, my bride. Hashem refers to us with this endearing language. Hashem calls us Achaisi. He calls my sister Akala. Now, the different love we have for a sister, for a sibling, the love we have for a sibling, and the love we have for our bride. Two different loves. And Hashem's love, our love to Hashem, is both. He says he came to my garden. My garden, Hashem calls this world his garden. That's why last night's wedding was in the garden. It was Basi Lagani. I come to my garden. And Hashem calls this world a beautiful garden. And it says there, explains there that even though this world, Hashem created a beautiful, perfect world, beautiful garden, nevertheless, there was a sin done. And the sin took the Shekhinah from this world and put it to heaven. And then another sin came, and they took the Shekhinah and they put it another, till it went to the seventh heaven. And then seven tzaddikim came, starting with Avraham Avinu, and the seventh one being Moshe Rabbeinu, and he brought the Shekhinah all the way back down. Like in Torah it says, Vayered Hashem Har Sinai, Hashem came down on Mount Sinai. So Hashem actually came down. He came down to Mount Sinai. And this is yeah, okay, so now, so the Kitzur is like this short later. The main Shekhinah was down here. And Hashem's whole purpose, Hashem wants, why did Hashem create this world? Because Hashem wants the Shekhinah down here. How do we bring the Shekhinah down to this world? How do we bring the divine presence down to this world? That happens through Iskafia and Ishapka. Iskafia means holding ourselves back, doing something. We want to do something. Like this morning, I wanted to press snooze really, really badly. But we have to hold ourselves back from doing what we want to do sometimes. Then we have Ishapka. Ishapka is transforming. We have something negative, and we transform it to something positive. And that's how we bring the Shekhinah down into this world. This was the Avodah in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, in the Avodah, the service called Birudim, which means refining. Hashem had a refinery. My father was in the refining business to refine precious metals. And that's Hashem's business, really. Hashem tells us that's our business. Our business is refining. We have to refine. Maybe not gold and platinum, silver, but we have to refine our character traits. We have to refine every aspect, every worldly aspect. At the level of Iskafia. Maybe my look which transforms darkness to light. And that's why one of the avodas, one of the services of the Beis HaMikdash was the service of karbanos, of sacrifices. Which is sacrifice. It's a very spiritual experience. It's a physical thing, but it's very spiritual. It's transforming the animal from something physical, a physical cow, from just being a fat cow, to bring a karban, to being carted, to be close to Hashem. And this is why the Kohanim and Levim had they did a special service in Beis HaMikdash with Shira and Zimra, song and music. When they brought the karban, which song also is ruchnis the gavaida. It's also spiritual song. And Nigin, it says, the pen of the soul. We bring about our singing song. We bring about through a song. We bring about the inside, the ruchnis, the spirituality. Which is why we are not supposed to listen to music which is made by someone who is not music, since music is dependent on the soul. So if someone is just a heavy metal, whatever, and their mind is who knows where, and then they're taking their mind and soul is in all different not good things, and now they take the not good things and they put it into music, and we listen to that music. We're connected to the negativity, and therefore we have to watch. Even the music we listen to, we have to watch. We can't just put on anything that comes on Spotify. Do ever doesn't say anything about Spotify? Right? Let's clarify. The freedom of this is. I don't know. I guess 100 years ago it didn't have Spotify. Maybe I don't know. What's the idea of a carbon? The pasuk says, "Adam ki yakim mikem carbon Hashem, a person, man who brings from you a carbon to Hashem." It says from the animals, from the cattle, from sheep. So the Chayv have a question. The whole point over here is to tell us to bring a carbon. So the pasuk should have said, Adam miket Yaakov, a man amongst you who brings a carbon. Why does it say, man who brings close from you a carbon to Hashem? It's a weird lush, it's a weird wording. But rather, the idea is the Adam Yaakov, it's the person which is bringing. Mikem, you from you, you're coming close to Hashem. And coming close to Hashem, you want to come close to Hashem, it sometimes takes sacrifice. It's difficult. Yeah, we fast on Yom Kippur. It's sacrifice. We like having ice cream on Yom Kippur on every day. But Yom Kippur, we're not. We can't even get anything. That's a sacrifice. We want to just go to work and we come to shul. That's a sacrifice. Every day we make sacrifices for Hashem. You want to come close to Hashem? It takes a sacrifice. And this is what it means. Adam ki Yaakov, a person that's makriv. Makriv comes from the word coming close. Coming close to godliness. Mikem carbon Hashem. The carbon is not from an animal. It's from Mikem, from you, from your animal soul, from your animal you bring to Hashem. Because when we come close to Hashem, he says, who is it dependent on? It's not dependent on animal. Don't kid yourself. You think you slaughter an animal and that's it? No, it doesn't work that way. It has to come, the carbon has to come, mikem, it has to come from you. Yeah. And this is what it says. It says, the whole thing coming close to Hashem is dependent on you. A person should never think that they can just pay $75. But you can't buy an animal for $75, whatever it is. Whatever it costs for you. You buy an animal, you bring it to Mikdash, and check, I did what I had to do. No, it doesn't work that way. It says, Mikem adavar taloi. It's dependent on us. When they bring the carbon, there was kavanah that had to be brought. Person will say, who am I? Person has to say, shouldn't say, who am I? Person has to say, when am I going to become? When am I going to do what Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov did? And there's no limits to this. And there's nothing that can hold us back. There's nothing that can hold us back from coming up to the level, from coming to the level of Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov. It says that when Hashem asks him about something, says, Hashem only asks from us what we're capable of doing. And so Hashem asks us to doing something, He puts us in a situation, it means we are capable of dealing with the situation. We should never feel like I'm in a situation where I'm lost, I don't know what to do, I can't handle it. No. The mere fact that we're there means that we can handle it. And the mere fact that we have that challenge, or whatever we're going through, that means we have the kayak, we have the strength to overcome it. And it's only there for us to overcome it. It's only there for us to go on a higher level. And this is what it means, Adam ki Yaakov, we're coming close. Because in order to come close, you have to have those challenges. Hashem wants you to have those challenges and overcome those challenges. Then there explains the different types of refining. There's the refining of a behema, the refining of a tzayin, different types of animals that we refine. There's different types of kavanas. Behema is referring to the nefesh habahamis, which is a shar nagach. There's different types of oxen mentioned in the Talmud. There's a goring ox. There's a non-goring ox. There's a behema gasa, which is this is a cow. This is just a fat cow. And we have the same concept as a person, human beings. Sometimes we could just be just a. I can't use some of the words, I'm sure. But and then you have people who are more tzayin, they're more refined. You have someone who's just a and then you have someone who's more refined, they're very sheepish, they're sheep. Now a sheep is also a behema, it's considered a behema. A sheep is also considered an animal. But it's a more refined animal. The same thing by us. We have some of us which we all have tigers, we all have desires. Some of us have more refined desires. Some of us have more grub, more coarse desires. At the end, tigers are. We have to be able to refine our tigers, to be able to refine those desires and bring them to Hashem. Now, regarding the carbon which is on this Be'ach, the Torah tells us there was two fires. There was the fire which came down from Hashem automatically, and then there was a fire which we had to bring. In other words, when we brought a carbon, we brought the animal on the Mizbeach, and that animal, we had to bring a fire, to make a fire for it. Now, there were two fires. There was a fire that came down automatically, and then there was a fire we had to bring. And the question is, why do we have to bring that fire? The fire coming down anyway. Hashem is making a nest. Hashem is making a miracle and bringing that fire. So then why do we bring a fire of our own? Comes along the Torah and tells us that our fire that Hashem brings, the miracles that Hashem does, not enough. We have to inspire ourselves. We have to do whatever we could by ourselves and to do the most we could do. Be the best you could be. Join the... No. Now, regarding our fire, which we bring, by the way, it says, the fire we bring, sometimes we put out. The fire that Hashem brings, if we're bringing fire, whether Hashem need to bring fire. If Hashem brings fire, I understand now why we have to bring fire, because Hashem wants us to do our part, to be us. But if we're bringing fire, then why does Hashem need to bring the fire? Why does it have to be both fires? He explains that the fire that we bring is physical fire. It's possible for the fire to be put out. A little water comes. A little rain comes, here comes the rain drops. No. But the little fire, a little water can come and take it away. Water, in Kabbalistically, is called the tidus haparnasa, the worries of making a living. And when it comes to making a living, we get all mixed up. We do all different things which knock us out of whack. Starting with not being able to come to shul on time or whatever. It starts with that. And it continues with worries. How am I going to make a living? Depression and so many eyes. And it knocks us out completely. So with the fire of Hashem, so regular fire can be put out by us. We have our not so worries and stuff that can be put out. But Hashem's fire can never be put out. And so Hashem brings His own fire. Hashem gives us an inspiration. Hashem says you have to be inspired to inspire yourself, but also give you a dose of inspiration, which can never be put out. We have an innate love So we have the commandment that we have to love Hashem, our part of loving Hashem. And Hashem gives us also, Hashem implants in us a natural love as well. We have both. It says in the Shema, Hashem with all your heart. Chazal tell us, it says in Shnei Tzarecha, we have to love Hashem with both Yetzers. They have the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. So of course we love Hashem with the Yetzer Tov, our good inclination. Says the Maimon that even with the Yetzer Hara, we still have to love Hashem with the Yetzer Hara. And how do we love Hashem with the Yetzer Hara, with our evil inclination? How do you love Hashem? Says the Maimon, we have to love Hashem with our nefesh, with our animal soul. Our job is to transform our animal soul into a tool of loving Hashem, and into, how do we do that? It says through his painus, through meditating. A person has to meditate. We have to meditate. We have to his painus. And God, we think about, what is me meditating? We think about Hashem. We think about all the beautiful things Hashem does for us. We think about how Hashem is part and parcel of every single thing in the world. And then we have to take that animal soul, and what do we do with it? We consume it in fire. It has to be consumed with a vitality. Like I said in today's Yom that a yid has to be strong, and we have to infuse vitality. We have to infuse a chayas in everything we do. And so as we go about our day, but to constantly infuse it with life. And just like by the carbon, we were being devoured, we were refining every aspect of life. Well, all three dimensions, math and chai, we're refining inanimate objects, growing objects, and in a life of an animal. How? The animal, of course, we know is the animal being going to the carbon. Daiming, there was a Tanakh you had. There's all the things that grew that are there. For example, the wine libation, whatever it's called. So that's something that grows. And you had diamond also. You had inanimate objects, like water. And so too in our life, we have to refine every aspect of life. When we do that, we're accomplishing the Asal Mikdash. It says that we build the Beis Hamikdash and I will dwell in them. It doesn't say in it, but it says in them. And them is referring to every single one of us. Not